Hello, my name is Joe Keegan. I'm 62 years old, live in Bonifay, Florida, and work in a small winery. Other than some speeding tickets, I have no criminal record and have never been arrested. The problem is illegal electronic surveillance and harassment by Florida law enforcement. Florida state and county police arranged with utility employees to place high-tech surveillance devices on a utility pole servicing the house and grounds of suspected drug dealers and their neighbors without obtaining warrants. I am one of the neighbors. The authorities have demonstrated no intention of investigating this abuse, but only of using their influence to cover it up. The cover-ups exceed the original crime and make any effective resolution difficult. 3 electronic surveillance experts all confirmed the presence of illegal law enforcement bugs on a utility pole servicing my residence. These surveillance devices have serial numbers and are inventoried. However, all 3 of the experts refused to supply their reports. The first one said that the police would arrest me if he supplied his report. His lawyer refused to hand over his client's report when demanded. The second one confirmed devices on the poles and a tracking device in a vehicle. He refused to supply his report, saying that he'd lose his Florida private investigator's license and would have to work a minimum wage job if he lost it. The third expert had a conflict of interest which he didn't disclose beforehand. He also refused to turn over his report. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Holmes County Sheriff's Department had a pattern and practice of employing illegal electronic surveillance. I had moved to the area and they included me in their surveillance without benefit of any warrant. The fact that I was a former federal whistleblower may have influenced the decision. I petitioned the former governor to investigate my charges. He forwarded copies of my petition to both the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Executive Investigations Director and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Commissioner. When they refused to investigate, the governor suggested I bring my evidence, including a VHS videotape, to my state attorney. I did. My state attorney refused to reply. After I contacted the Florida Attorney General, my state attorney's chief assistant contacted me. I asked him directly if either he or the state attorney viewed my videotape. He said that he didn't have to answer my questions. I like Governor Scott and state attorney has to do their job. I'd like both to answer a simple question. Why didn't you reply to my charges and evidence? Unfortunately, there doesn't appear to be any checks and balances for mutual conduct and abuse. Cover-up is the rule and not the exception. Are those that enforce the law exempt from the same laws that they enforce? Florida law enforcement has demonstrated an arrogance that only unaccountability makes possible. Thank you. Let me do it again.